Are we cooking or are we cooked? All right. I'm going to break it down to you if you haven't tuned into my live streams for the past week. We go top to bottom. Giga high time frame, bullish still. We are still in higher low, higher high, higher low structure. Okay? We haven't taken out 74K. We didn't give back the gains that we've made since the Trump tariff lows in April 2025. So high time frame, bullish. For the time being, if you're looking at short term to midterm, maybe in the span of the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm bearish. I'm bearish until I know for a fact that these open interests are gone. Okay, these open interests are still there, meaning it's likely that these sells are not over. I think this is just the first wave. I was watching this live. All of these bubbles popped immediately, suggesting it's from the same source. It's probably from the same market maker that has their exchange. I mean, look at this. These are all Binance related. There's one on OKX right there, inside there, small one. But it's intentional. It seems orchestrated. It's nothing personal from the market makers. They're not doing this to FUD you out. Don't listen to the stupid ass headlines that you see. It is the actions of the market maker, but they're not doing this to scare you. They've been hedging since the dawn of time. They've been hedging since BTC hit 126K. They have to play both sides of the market. So if they're hedging by shorting on the derivatives market, mainly on options and futures, if price overextends to an area from where their open interests are, so the most recent big cluster is 111K, 110K. If price, we're guessing, we don't know because we can't see their contract, but if price, especially off of yesterday, is a definitive close below 100K, let me show you. If price is a definitive close below 100K, we close at $99,700. These times here were wicks. This one is a body, so it's not showing much confidence. If you were a large investor, if you were a client of BlackRock, you'd want to offload your position. So the market makers will have to sell their underlying BTC because they're gamma negative, right? There's a certain limit for where their puts options contracts are. So if this cluster is gone, then bottom is in. But I don't think the bottom is in. I'll need to look again later at high block capital to see how the heat map looks like for open interest. But for the time being, we can make a guess. I think it's still not over. There's still large bids at 94K. Worth 20 million, 70 million, 8 million, 16 million. So yeah, 72 at 94K here. These are still not filled. And in order for me now to switch my bias to bullish is the same thesis. You just look at this week's market structure. Wednesday's dump has already told me, the market has already told me where they want to go. They want to go lower after Wednesday's dump. Monday, I was hella bullish because we retested 107K. It dumped to 104K, but it's perfectly fine because that's just a 50% correction from this swing low to that swing high. During this time, Tuesday close, still holding okay, still bullish on Tuesday. But on Wednesday, my brava, on Wednesday, US market open here, 8 p.m. Hong Kong time, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. 10:30 was, US market open, New York Stock Exchange open. This was bank holiday. This was Veterans Day. Wall Street going back to work. Man, they went to work hard. Okay. This dump on Wednesday invalidated this entire higher high, higher low structure. And from here on, the market already told you where it wants to go, which is here. But yesterday, it also told us it wants to go lower. It gave back this dump yesterday, Thursday, gave back all of the gains that were made here, all of the value that were created here, suggesting it can go lower. So that's why yesterday, don't be surprised as to why I've shifted my bias now from bullish to bearish for the time being. Okay? Now, next most important question is, Ron, where do you think the bottom is? Is it here? Is it at 80K? Oh shit, that's scary, right? I think if we're just looking at previous structure, it would be 93K. Why 93K? Because price ranged here for a week between 95 to 93.7K. Using previous structure, this is where your bottom is. But seeing how that was back in May, it might be less relevant. So I'm putting more weight as to, let me rephrase it one more time. Your answer, where the bottom is if you're using previous structure, it would be here. But this was in May, so it puts a lot less weight. And now, refining my key level, I realized, how did I come to the conclusion of 93K? I don't see open closes, but now that we are drawing these open closes, it can be here, but we didn't range for a long time, but it's still some sort of relevance. But I'm not going to put that much weight on this to be the bottom. Here would be much more likely, but this is like from here, from 76 to here, just taking the open close, bullish to bearish here, bearish to bullish here. But this is a large area, and this is a scary territory, because this is that territory where I'm talking about that we give back all the gains, and this is definitively a bear market. If price were to come back to retest this area and we don't get a bounce from there, then yeah, it's fucking bear market, bro. But let's be objective here, okay? So yesterday, we're already seeing it happen now. What I talked about yesterday, right? The dump. And remember I said if we're gonna dump towards here, it's imperative today we want to see the same V-shaped recovery. That's gonna be up to the Europeans. That's gonna be up to the Americans tonight. We're working with limited information here, so we only have these to work with. So this is our next line of defense. This is the max bottom in terms of local range. If we're gonna dump here, in line with those active limit orders that have been bidding for days now, for hours here, but there's still longer, older orders that have been going back since 61 days ago. Okay, so ask yourself, if you were a whale and you still believe that 126K is not the top, that we're certainly going to go higher. You think from that perspective and ask yourself, which area do you think is cheap to buy BTC? Is it 93K? Is it 90? Is it below 90K? So far, just on the daily, look, about like 70% of the limit orders have been filled from really big positions. Still, a bunch of liquidity resting down here that haven't been picked up. So if you want to keep it simple, holy shit, then max pain could be 80K, because this is still a significant color. There's colors here, but not as significant as this. And this is not as significant as this. Okay, so max pain, maybe even wick to 88K, pick these up, then reversal. So if price were to come to 88K, we want to see immediate bounce, V-shaped recovery. Okay, otherwise, if we close this week below 100K, that's the first sign. It's not yet confirmed bear market. Just like what Benjamin Cohen said, 2 consecutive weekly closes below the 50-week moving average would be the confirmed bear market. And how are we holding up on that now? Yeah, now we're trading below. In the weekly time frame, we're trading below the 50-week moving average. If we're gonna dump, we better dump in the next few hours. Fast! I don't want this to continue next week. If we're gonna dump, let's get it over with. 50-week moving average is 102. but I prefer to still just use weekly key levels. Bearish to bullish here. So 100K, $100,950 is a reasonable area level for me to trade back above. Okay. Do you think we already had all-time high? Next one coming is a relief rally, not a new all-time high. That depends on what your belief is if we're in a 4-year cycle, or is it the end of the 4-year cycle. If you believe in the 4-year cycle, then yes, the October was the top. 126K was the top. But if you believe that it is that the 4-year cycle is over, definitively over, we're entering a new era, then this is just a deep correction and we keep going up. And I rationalize that just by looking at this chart. Okay, if price were to break below 74K and close below 74K, then yeah, okay, I'm wrong, 4-year cycle still in, then that's the start of the bear market. But just look at the data. This is completely different from the last bull market cycle. We're in Wall Street season now. It's no longer native crypto people season. Bitcoin ETF holdings. Doesn't this number just scare you? The fact that BlackRock has 797,000 Bitcoin on behalf of their clients. Fidelity 200,000. Grayscale 170,000. Grayscale Mini 42,000. 21 shares 41,000. Bitwise 40,000. I think cumulatively this is nearly 1 million, right? And this is just on the ETF side. Then you have digital asset treasuries. Michael Saylor MicroStrategy 641,000. Mara Holdings 53,000. XXI 48,000. Metaplanet, who is, by the way, the host of the Bitcoin conference, and they're fucking rich and they only have 30,000. Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company 30,000. Riot Platforms 19,000. Coinbase 14,000. You add these all up, it's also like millions, right? BTC and Treasury 4 million BTC. ETFs nearly 1 million, 5 million. That's a sizable chunk that they're controlling compared to the circulating supply of BTC, which is how many now? 19 million? 19 million, yeah, 19.9 million. The amount that they're controlling is sizable. They're already like, they have majority. I'm not saying they're gonna dump, but the fact that they have already, just by numbers, we know that they already kind of have majority. And you also factor in Bitcoin miners, they're doing their own thing, right? It's Wall Street season. This is a chart that you also have to pay attention to. This is also a chart that shows you the 4-year cycle is over. Since 2024, institutional demand has engulfed new supply every time. Just to keep it simple. 1 block is mined, now it's like 3 Bitcoin in circulation. That's like 7 times, 8 times, making demand roughly 6.3 times larger than supply. You have 7 counterparties. They're like, I want the Bitcoin, like that. Okay? This has been happening since 2024. So those are my argument that why the 4-year cycle is over. So we'll just like see how the rest of the sessions play out. Let's see how Americans will do. But just nothing exciting going on right now. Seems like all of the excitement is in bank stocks off of the narratives that the feds won't cut rates. Dollar going down, bonds going down. Yen is going up because it's getting more expensive, off pricing in the fact that they're raising interest rates. GBP is still climbing, but a bit choppy-ish. Euro climbing. So, seems money is also in these currencies. But dollar looking a bit weak. Yeah. Okay. All right, boys, take good care of yourselves. If you want to know what the heck is going on in the world, in crypto, global macro, tune into my live stream every day. We're live 7:30 UTC, Monday to Friday. And if there are high impact news in the US, I'll also tune in live for those, and you can join just to look at the charts together. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. My name is Ron. On and out.